What is up, guys? I have it booted up here, ready to go. Episode 2 of the Norm Macdonald live show. Seems like this one's got Tom Green. A lot of you guys have been anxious and ready to see this first half of the podcast with me. As a reminder, we're doing these in parts just because, again, hour-long reaction videos of me. I don't know if that's really what the people want. I'm going to break this up in like a half-hour segment. So we're going to do a part 1 and part 2. So here's part 1 of Norm Macdonald Live with Tom Green. So this is episode 2. If you're new to the channel, what's up? My name is Sebs. This is where we do reactions from the treadmill. And if you're a returning viewer, what's up? Welcome back. Thank you so much. It's so good to know you. We've got a great community here of just deeply closeted Norm Macdonald fans. So appreciate y'all. If you enjoy watching this with me, hit like and subscribe. It actually helps a lot. And also, if in the description down below, you can find links of where to find me on social media and whatnot. Give me a follow on Instagram. That's where I spend most of my time on if I'm checking social media. That and I guess Twitter recently, because there's so much crap going on there. And frankly, Norm Macdonald is most active on Twitter from what I've seen. So that's where you can find me, Sebs, Duran, wherever. And also, if you want to donate to the channel, you'll find those links in it. Y'all are incredibly generous people, man. Really appreciate you guys. So here we go. And also, feedback would be appreciated. I'm trying to do a lot better in terms of balancing out audio here. I've noticed some of my videos tend to be a little too loud for me. So hopefully you don't mind what I've tried to do in balancing out audio with the source, with my microphone, all of that crap. Without further ado, let's go.
Good evening, everybody. Welcome to Norm Macdonald Live, episode number 2. And tonight we have the great Tom Green on the show. We will be asking him questions, interviewing him. I will be interviewing him.
I used to watch so much Tom Green back in the day.
Sidekick Adam Egris.
It's Egis.
Egis.
Yeah,
he's right.
Yeah.
Adam Egis.
How are you, Norm?
Good, man. How's your Easter?
Fantastic.
It's
Couldn't be better.
That's great.
Yeah, it's great.
Hey, I thought the show was great last week. Our first show, Super Dave Osborne.
Amazing.
It was hilarious.
Unbelievable.
Hysterical.
Unbelievable. And we're not the only ones that think that. I have some pretty good news. The critics loved us. They couldn't get enough of it.
All right.
And more importantly, we officially are the #1 podcast on iTunes. So
Just like that, after one episode, they were
critics.
#1?
You can't get wrapped up in that kind of thing, because critics, you know what I mean? They're just one guy's opinion.
Right.
That's just one guy's opinion.
Yeah, that's true.
You know what I mean? Like what I like about the computer is it's interactive. Do you know what that means?
Yeah, sure.
It doesn't matter if you don't. I didn't either before today. But what it means is that the people that are watching, they can post their own reviews of the show.
Absolutely.
On the web page.
Yeah, of course.
On the web.
So what I did is, and because that's what I care about. I don't care about Owen Gleiberman.
Right, that's not who we do this with.
I care about the folks at home.
Right.
And so Daniel Kellison gave me a big bunch of comments. These are comments.
Oh, cool.
From the internet.
Oh, great.
People that listen to this, and I haven't read any of these. I'm just going to read them.
Oh, I can't wait to hear some. Let's hear some.
I'm going to read them live because this is a live show. I don't want to do pre-stuff.
Do it live.
No.
Do it live.
You like pre-stuff?
No. Who likes free stuff?
All right. So do you want to hear one?
Of course.
This first one is from MonkFan72. I love these guys' names.
Yeah, that guy likes Monk.
That guy likes Monk. He says, I love this podcast. It was great to see Norm Macdonald back, and Super Dave was the perfect choice as first guest. Lose the douchebag.
He's talking about me. Yeah.
Well, we don't know if he's talking about
He's
you.
clearly talking about me.
He is talking about you. But listen, it's not bad news. It further elucidates my point, actually, because let's suppose this guy were Richard Corliss or Pauline Kael. I don't know if she's still working.
I don't think so, but I get it.
That would hurt. But
Oh, it
this is
hurts,
just one.
trust me.
This is just one person's opinion. But I have hundreds of other
Well,
people.
all right, yeah, you're right. This one guy, he's entitled to his opinion, and that's fine, whatever.
And mostly they like the show.
Well, good. Well, let's hear another one then.
All right.
Let's hear another one.
What's the deal with that fucking douchebag? Well,
there any good
I'll
ones?
look.
Okay.
Not good.
Not good.
Okay. Let me see here. Ooh.
What is it? Is it a good? Is it a
Ah.
good one?
It's not good at all.
I love when he does
I
that
found
so
one.
much.
Oh, good.
Yes.
Okay.
This is a positive one. Thoroughly enjoyed it from top to bottom.
Great.
Blinky91 says. A sparkling exchange between veteran funny man Norm Macdonald and comedy legend Super Dave Osborne. One minor problem. The set.
Oh.
It's just too distracting. Why are there so many clocks? We're not tuning in to see what
I
is
did
in
notice
what
that,
time it is
actually.
in Hong Kong. We're tuning in to listen to comedians doing comedy. Plus some douchebag, I don't know who he was, but I like to punch him right in the fucking face. Okay,
I mean,
we don't need to know what the people think.
well, no. I mean, it's hard, Norm. It's hard. I'm not used. I'm not used to this.
You know why? Because you're just new to the whole
I think that's part of it.
show
I mean,
business thing.
Oh yeah, that.
You know what it reminds me of? I read in a book one time about Saturday Night Live, which I was on.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, you were.
when it started out, Chevy Chase retired, then Bill Murray came on.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody liked Bill Murray.
Nobody liked Bill Murray.
Unfathomable today to
shocking.
think that.
Shocking.
But they did not like him because he was new. You understand?
I get it. I mean, that makes
So
sense.
what he did, it was very famous. He went on TV.
Yeah.
He talked right to the camera, right?
Yeah.
And he introduced himself to the folks.
Did it work?
Said who he was. Of course it worked.
Oh yeah, it's Bill Murray.
He's Bill Murray. He's probably the most
should I-
successful guy ever to come out of the franchise.
Maybe you're right.
So why don't you just look at your camera
All right.
and tell the folks who you
All
are?
right, I'll give it
Introduce
a, all right,
yourself.
I'll give it a shot.
There you
See if
go.
it works. I'm Adam Egget. I work at the world famous Comedy Store. I'm the manager over there. Before that, I was a manager at the Tempe Improv, and I don't know what I'm doing, I'll be honest, and I'm not an actor, I'm not a comedian, but I'm just gonna try my best, and I'm gonna do the best I can, and I hope the people watching at home will give me a chance to I don't know, just give me a chance. And I did this as a favor to Norm. I'm not an actor and I'm not a comedian.
This guy
but I'm
says
gonna
your face looks like a cunt.
I can't even change that. It's not the first time I've heard that. But I mean,
But you know what? I didn't get you on this show because you're funny. That's clear.
yeah, obviously.
I got it because you're a friend of mine, and we go a long way back. We have chemistry, what they call
Exactly.
chemistry, and that's irreplaceable on TV.
Yeah, I mean,
The
it
TV
took a
picks
long
that
time
up.
for us to build that chemistry.
We've known each other a long time.
A long time.
I met you when I was on Saturday Night Live doing the news segment.
Right.
And you were just a kid.
Interesting.
You were, what were you,
18, 19?
something like that. And I liked you right from the start, I'll tell you that. Because you had, you didn't have a lot going for you.
No.
But you had get up and go. You had grit,
Absolutely.
and you had gumption. And these are things that my dad always taught me to look for in a fella,
So to look for gumption,
Yeah, gumption and grit,
of course.
You remember when
He
we
said,
first
"Look,
met?
gumpsh."
Where we were? Remember where we were?
Yes, Carnegie Deli. I think at the
No, no.
Pastrami.
No, we were at Carnegie Deli where I interviewed you for
Oh,
Saturday
you're
Night
right,
Live.
you're right. No, where did we
But
first meet?
We first met, I met you underneath the Queensboro Bridge. You at the time were jerking off punks for $15 a man.
My whole family's watching, man. My grandmother.
Your family doesn't know that when you were a young man, you used to jerk off punks for $15 a man?
No.
What is a fucking podcast anyway?
It's it's originally it was I think a broadcast that was initially intended to be downloaded onto people's iPods. So that's call it a podcast.
Podcast.
Yeah.
Is that right?
Interesting.
Yeah.
That is actually interesting.
You know what I don't understand? Why do we have all these cameras here?
Well, it's evolved. I mean, it started out that way, very simple, very punk attitude, do it yourself, and I think it's evolved. And people have video podcasts, all kinds of different podcasts now. But you're right, we have
man.
a huge staff
But
here.
I've been on people's podcasts.
Right.
Mark Maron.
Oh, yeah,
You
great.
go into his garage, it's just him with a microphone.
Right, yeah.
No overhead, nothing.
No.
Greg Fitzsimmons, same deal.
Yeah. Well,
Adam Carolla, same deal. You're always in a guy's garage.
Adam
It's
Carolla
just you
show
and
is
him.
insane.
exactly. I think this adds a new dynamic. It's
But
pretty
this,
cool.
I like
we have
Adam
so many
Carolla a lot, by the
people,
way.
Very elaborate, yeah.
100 people working here.
Oh, yeah.
And you know what? I
Huge
think
production.
that it cuts into the overhead. That's why
I'm gonna
we're
tout
not
a
seeing any
movie.
money.
I watched a movie with Adam Carolla and Dennis Prager. No Safe Spaces. It was pretty good, dude. Really insightful. It's almost like prophetic of what was going to happen today. Check it
Get out
out.
of this.
I mean, I got paid. I got a check.
You got paid for this?
You didn't get a check?
I did not get a check. Who
I got a check.
paid you?
Daniel Kelson, our producer. He gave me a check last week.
You got a check from Daniel?
Yeah, I got it right here.
No way. Let me see that.
Yeah, right here.
Let me see this thing. It is from Daniel Kellison. Pay to the order of Adam Egget for services rendered, $15. I'm sorry, folks. We'll be back with Tom Green. We are back on the podcast, and our guest with us, the hilarious Tom Green.
Hey, thanks.
How
Thanks,
are you,
Mike.
Tom?
Good. I'm doing real good. Thanks for having me on the show.
So happy to have you.
Yeah, Adam.
How are you? It's good to see you again.
You know Adam Egret?
Yeah, I know
Yeah.
Adam from the Tempe Improv and the Comedy Store.
That's
yeah.
right.
What are you doing here?
I'm just helping Norm out.
Yeah.
Tom,
Some
that's
say
one of
help.
the first clubs when you made your triumphant return to stand-up. I believe Tempe was one of the first clubs you played. wasn't it?
Absolutely. Yeah. No, I have we had a great time out there, and
I remember you didn't. Wasn't that the time you put on? You had everybody dressed as robots.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Wow, that is true. Yeah, we.
Wow. Okay.
I thought it might be good to have kind of a a hook to it. Come to the show, but if you haven't heard.
Back in the 90s, me and my family, we had a weird kick with Tom Green. Like, we thought the crotch game was the funniest thing ever. I watched it again recently. It doesn't... Maybe comedy's evolved. It's not as funny as I thought it was when I was 6, 8, whatever, however old I was when I watched him. So it's kind of interesting seeing him
Heard about
again.
the show yet?
Wasn't Norm just on his podcast like recently?
Meet me on the corner in front of Subway.
Comment down
Wrap
below if you
tinfoil
recommend
around
that.
Your head, and we'll walk around Tempe, Arizona for a couple hours.
It was a blast.
Yeah,
It was a
that was what I
fucking
did the
blast.
first weekend. I don't do that anymore.
As a matter of fact, when I first met you, you were dressed as a robot. I don't know if you remember that.
Yeah,
You
I-
have such a good memory.
I do. Our very first time I met you was on the Regis show.
That's right.
It was in the dressing room of the Regis show, and I went on in a large, some sort of a robot costume.
Yeah. And I was confused at that time because everybody was telling me about Tom Green. And I mistakenly thought they said, this guy Tom Green from Canada has a sketch show.
Yeah. You were thinking Red Green.
Yes.
Yeah.
Do you get that a lot?
Yeah. People would always ask, confused back.
Because Red Green was a more traditional, older
Yeah.
kind of guy that had a kind of a lame show.
Yeah, and that show was
So I was
huge.
like, Red Green suddenly is broken?
Yeah, that show was huge in Canada and at that time. So yeah, absolutely.
And there was another guy in Canada, I think Red Green, was a fisherman. Do you
Oh
remember
yeah.
him?
Red Green?
I think it was. He'd bring out guys fishing every week.
Oh, okay. Yeah. His name was Red Green too. I used to like those shows.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
do a lot of fishing growing up in Canada?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah?
Salmon.
Salmon.
Yeah.
Really?
Oh,
in
that's-
the
that sounds
in
good.
the
And you know what was a bad fish was rock bass because they'd always have worms in them.
rock bass, the largemouth bass,
Yeah.
smallmouth bass put up a bit more of a fight than the largemouth.
Is that right?
Yeah, if you know anything about
Oh, he knows.
Canadian
No.
freshwater fish.
He doesn't know, but he knows a lot about smallmouth and largemouth.
Yeah. You learn that at the Comedy Store. When you
Well, more
decide who
under the
gets to go on
Queensboro
stage.
Bridge, but yeah.
So how do the other comics
I love how he
feel?
just
Like
rips him
you're
a new
at
one,
the
dude.
Comedy Store, you're
Right.
running the Comedy Store.
Exactly.
And they're all there working on their comedy, hoping to maybe someday break into television. And then all of a sudden there's this great new opportunity. Norm Macdonald starting his new live talk show, and he's looking for a co-host. Does he go down and look for the latest talent at the Comedy Store on stage? But no, he just ends up, the other comics kind of like,
Yeah,
going like,
they're not happy.
Yeah, like
a
what-
lot of them are in my ear. They're like,
Yeah.
you know what you should do? You should get me in there. You clearly don't know what the fuck you're doing.
Yeah.
You're not happy about
I was
it.
very nervous about the whole
I'm a
thing.
wreck. I'm a fucking wreck.
No, I think it's hilarious. It's doing
He
a great
may
job.
start drinking
No problem.
again.
I probably will start drinking.
I just think that
again.
maybe a lot of people at the office might be pissed about this whole thing.
You would not be wrong.
Yeah.
Tom's drinking.
Yeah, it looks great.
Tom has drank for as long as I've known him.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I drink. Yeah. I'm starting to smoke too.
You've started smoking?
I'm starting now. I'm just starting.
It's harder than you think. You should probably start with a patch.
Yeah. No, I actually started with the e-cigarettes.
Oh, did you really?
I was smoking those for the last couple of months.
I think you actually were.
Yeah, and then gradually built up sort of an addiction.
Is he
to
not
nicotine.
smoking? He's just holding the cigarette?
But, yeah, but it's not really. I don't know where I put my lighter. Does anyone got a light?
Yeah, I do. I do have a
Shed the
lighter.
pounds, though.
Thank you. Here we go. Thanks.
You're welcome.
Thanks, Adam. But
That beer reminds me of an old-timey Canadian beer.
like an old 50, like an old stubby 50.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Stubby bottles. That's actually why when Daniel offered a beer, I thought I'll have the stubby. Reminds you of the good old days.
How long have you been up booze?
About 10 months. 10 long.
I know to smoke.
I'll smoke it for you.
He just likes to hold a cigarette.
No, I'm trying to.
I just figured it would be rude not to offer you a light.
It's nice, but I'm trying not to. And I feel if I,
Sitting there with a cigarette.
I feel if I, took one puff. I have an oral fixation, my doctor tells me, which is not good.
How did he know that?
I was sucking his cock. I was sucking his cock. You're a friend of Andrew Dice Clay.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah.
Doesn't that seem an improbable friendship? Tom Green
And Dice?
And
Yes.
Dice and
Yeah,
I
it
have
does.
really become very good friends.
Is that
actually.
true?
Yeah, very good friends. I spent Thanksgiving at his house this year. I was over at his house. We hang out all the time. He lives near me. We go over. We go smoke cigarettes actually together. We go down, meet at the Starbucks, and we sit on the steps at the Starbucks and smoke cigarettes together.
Oh, that's awesome.
It was a friendship that basically formed because of my Webovision show that I was doing in the living room. He
Yes,
came up to
yes.
the house, did that. He started.
Tom
doing it all-
invented this entire form.
Oh yeah, he invented pretty much everything that we know over the last 5 years. No, I'm dead serious. Is it true you invented planking? I hear. I didn't know this.
No, I didn't. There was an article in CNN that said that I invented planking, which was the craze last summer where everyone was lying down on their face.
Oh, jeez.
And
I thought it was actually funny.
I
I wish
shot a
more.
video of
Wish
myself
that came
doing
back.
that in '94. So
And
yeah.
you didn't even think it was a big thing.
Yeah, I didn't think it was a big deal.
just a thing.
But yeah, so I got credited with that, inventing the shittiest thing ever. Am I allowed to swear on? Oh, can
Yeah,
I
you
swear?
can swear,
Yeah,
say whatever you want.
it's good to get credit for things like that.
But seriously, though, you had the show Tom Green's House.
Yeah, well, it was so much fun when you would come do the show all the time,
Yeah.
and it was amazing because when
Drink like crazy.
we built the studio in my living room, and you go, oh, geez, I wonder if I built a studio in my living room if Norm Macdonald would come over every time I asked him. And you did almost come over almost
Do you
every
remember
time.
the time I did the Tonight Show? Mm-hmm. With another guest was Pitbull.
Yeah, and then you brought Pitbull's band with you, and we sat up and did the whole show.
We did the show before the Tonight Show.
Why
But
not?
that's the thing, right? Yeah, we had him on before the Tonight Show. That's what's amazing about this.
Pissed off their
Isn't that
fuckers.
is that what's exciting about this?
It's
for you?
exciting, but I feel like we're just a cheap Tom Green knockoff. Like you did it for how many years did you do that show?
I did for well, it's web broadcasting. It's the future, man. Everyone's jumping in.
But you did it
I'm
in
doing
the
a pod-
past.
Yeah, that's true. I was just trying to basically find a way to build like a Johnny Carson show.
Right,
that was all it was, or a David Letterman show.
Right.
Which would have been who I
Real
looked up
trend
to.
center. Like just you just started all these things. I was talking to Norm about this earlier, and I just feel like you picked up right where Andy Kaufman left
That's
off.
why they say the pioneers leave with the arrows in their back, right? Now I'm just
That's
smoking.
right. You
yeah?
got
That's
plenty
a
of
good
arrows in there. That's a great line.
You don't want to be. You don't want to be.
I'm still doing my podcast. It's not like I stopped.
Tom, you don't want to
I'm
be.
number 14 on iTunes right now.
Is that right?
Yeah. My new podcast is
Yes.
a radio
Does he
show.
still have
You
one?
go to
I've read it.
iTunes
Yeah,
podcast.
yeah, he's-
I
duh,
interview
we just-
people.
Yes, I've heard it. It's
You've
hilarious.
done my podcast so many
You
times.
have interviewed me
I
10,
just-
15 times.
I wanted to I want you to come on again, and we'll talk
would
about
be
other
fun.
stuff. Yeah,
Yeah,
this one's
yeah.
more radio though. It's just audio.
Yes,
and I
yes.
do it in a little radio studio.
You did a
Oh,
radio
yeah.
one with me once.
Not
Over
interested.
At the Smod Castle.
Oh, Kevin Smith.
That's right. Yeah. This one's no audience. It's just in a little studio, so it's kind of more intimate. You have the headphones on.
Yeah,
It's-
yeah.
I
No,
like that better actually.
Better than this fucking shit.
I've kind of, you know what? I like it better than doing it in my living room. I actually.
There's
it was
something
driving me,
about the way he
nuts.
says the
5
F
years
word,
having
bro.
It's good that you didn't decide to do it in your garage or your living room. You don't want people coming over to your house all the time.
Well, it was absolute chaos at that house.
Yeah.
People wandering through your whole house, like, because a guest would come bring 10, 15 people, and then they'd just be.
Yep. We had a lot of fun up there. We would
it was still a
we would
living
often stay
house.
after the show too and just watch YouTube videos till 6 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah, I know you love YouTube.
It was a good time. You're on YouTube here, right? This is YouTube?
This is it?
Yeah, it's YouTube.
It's Google.
Well, it's YouTube. Remember, that's where we got all those comments from.
Oh, yeah.
Apparently
It
we're
is
all-
YouTube.
Yeah, cunt face.
I got a YouTube channel also, youtube.com/Tom Green. So
YouTube, wait a minute, youtube.com
with the slash and then Tom Green.
/ Tom Green.
Ooh, look at that.
Which
no,
I think a slash does go that way. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
I think it's a.
/.
Yeah, I think it is a backslash.
I never know what to call it. It's
I have no
/.
idea.
You don't smoke comfortably.
I tell you, I'm new. I'm just starting.
Oh, you are starting. I can tell because
You don't.
I can smoke like perfectly. You know, I started
live.
smoking. I started smoking on purpose, deliberately, when I was a boy.
Why?
When I was 12 years old, nobody liked me and stuff. So I thought everybody will like me if I smoke. If I smoke.
Is that on Jasper?
That's right. He remembers everything.
We grew up in the same neighborhood.
Oh, is that right?
In Ottawa,
that's
Canada,
crazy.
The suburb.
So I went behind the this Max Milk, which is like the 7-Eleven
I know-
here, but
I
you
know
know
Max
Max Milk.
Milk,
Bought a pack of Export A, green Export A's.
Is that the one up on Shefford Road?
Yes, on
Yeah.
Shefford. Oh my God! So you'll be able to picture this perfectly. So I was behind there. I took a whole pack and I smoked the entire pack. Threw up and stuff. But I kept smoking. And I immediately became a chain smoker, like immediately. And I went back to school, and then everybody liked me.
Oh yeah.
It actually worked.
Yeah. I find that's why I'm starting actually.
To get-
Yeah, trying to get
more
friends.
popular?
Yeah, absolutely. Looks cool.
It does look cool, and it gives you something
It's so
to do.
interesting.
Yeah.
Like
Seeing
I
Tom
find if
Green
you're not
bald.
doing anything, you're still smoking.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
Gives you
it's
time.
hard to just sit on a chair and not do anything, but you can sit on a chair
Well,
and
you
smoke.
look at me. That's what I do.
What's that?
I just sit on a chair and don't do anything.
Hey, what about the news?
Oh, right.
Yes.
So,
You know, you're supposed to do the news
absolutely.
every time.
no, I mean, I do that best. I like
Yes.
to sit
We'll talk
around
about
And
do
then we talk
nothing.
about the news stories.
Do you follow it pretty closely, the news?
The news, I think you follow it more closely than I follow it. Every time I read your blog, hey, what about last night? Dennis Rodman got a narrow. Do you watch Celebrity Apprentice anymore?
Yeah, yeah. I haven't watched much this season, but I know did he go back to North
Oh,
Korea?
man, this is
Did he
when-
bring LaToya Jackson over to North Korea.
This one, everyone still liked Donald Trump, bro. Well,
It is weird that he's both on the Celebrity
crazy.
Apprentice
Yeah.
and dealing with nuclear genocide.
Negotiating world peace and harmony and trying to hold his
Isn't it
own
fun?
against.
Don't you find it funny with the news, Tom, that all of a sudden you read on the front of Yahoo, North Korea is starting a war with us.
Yeah.
Just
They're-
out of nowhere.
They're instigating it.
Yeah.
They're actually saying,
And then you just hit another button.
yeah.
And you go to the next
they're
story.
starting it. They're just going to start it.
Is that what's going to happen,
Yeah.
really?
They're saying they're going to start it.
Are they going to get us?
It's funny how it all really, the rhetoric and the vitriol out of North Korea all started immediately after Dennis Rodman's visit, too.
I guess you're right.
He went over there to patch everything up, and the next day it's like, America is a boiled pumpkin waiting to be
Yeah.
exploded. So let's see how his state-making abilities
Dennis
work out.
Rodman, bro.
And then
Dennis Rodman was
and
really
then
cool.
after he said
Bless his
that, all
heart.
the starving people in South Korea, they said, boiled pumpkin, that sounds delicious.
Yeah. Bomb it. Let's eat it. If
Oh,
anybody
man.
could solve the crisis in the world,
Shout out
crisis
to
in the
South
world,
Korea.
I think Rodman could.
Dennis
He
Rodman,
was a
top of
fun
the
guy. I
list.
had fun with him. I like having on The Apprentice. The reason I got fired was because I went out drinking with Dennis Rodman on the night I was
You didn't
project
wake
manager.
up, right?
And
I didn't know he was on the
suicide,
Celebrity
though. He did it on
Apprentice.
purpose.
well, you know, I didn't think everybody would know that I went out drinking with Dennis Rodman all night, but I overslept my alarm. And then Jesse James called my hotel room because we had to go sell wedding dresses in a competition we were having against Joan Rivers. And Jesse James was really mad at me
Weird
because I missed
sentence.
my alarm, and I had to explain while I went out drinking with Dennis Rodman last night. But if what
What an
Rodman
incredible-
goes through, what he went through with Kim Jong-un over there, if they had any sort of similar type of an experience that I had, I would think that could be something worthy of bringing our countries together. It's a good time hanging out with Rodman, that's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
Obama, Kim Jong-un, Rodman, if they all went out together,
Yeah.
go to Scores in New York or something like
Oh,
that.
yeah, I can see
That's
that.
where Rodman took me. That was fun. We had a good time.
Yeah.
You guys had fun over at Scores? I could see that, Rodman.
The axis of fun.
You know, speaking of You know what happened today? No, 2 days ago, 2 days ago, a drone, an actual drone flew over my house.
No.
In Los Angeles, a drone. It looked to me like a Scan Eagle drone, which would be a small, unarmed drone, not like the large Predator drone. Small drone, flew right over my house. I was standing outside on the deck.
That's cool.
My friend tapped me, pointed. I looked up. It was flying right over my head. I reached for my camera. Before I could get the camera, it went off right behind the tree.
That's
no
insane.
video evidence, but it actually happened.
Wow.
Jesus.
And I just think, what is happening to this world we're living in now? We're living in a
Oh,
some sort
bro,
of
you don't-
surveillance
You don't even know.
society here.
You don't even.
What do you think of that? Do you believe me, first of all? Do you believe
I
me?
believe you, yes.
Because a lot of people,
Because
when I
you
tell
always
them this,
the
they look at
truth.
me like I'm making it up or like it's a joke. It was
No,
an
because that's
actual
a
drone.
possibility. But
Yeah.
No, I believe that we probably should go with it and just have no privacy.
Yeah.
Because I don't think we do have any as it is. Like, what if we put a
Interesting.
chip inside everybody? How could there be crime?
Right.
You put a chip inside every child. How could a child ever get abducted?
But don't you want to have the freedom to be able to commit the occasional little crime?
Have you ever shoplifted?
When I was younger, I did a couple of times.
That's an adrenaline
Yeah.
rush. God damn.
Shouldn't we as human beings have the freedom?
What's the what with that chip that can check the COVID? Is that out yet?
to flirt with a little adrenaline rush like that once in a while?
God. I
As long as
still-
nobody gets hurt.
This was
You know what, the
this
first time I ever
episode, right, that we're
shoplifted,
watching
this
was
is
8
maybe
years
my
ago.
proudest moment. Quick, you know,
How about that?
As a quick thinker, I went to a store. We were like 7 or 8 years old. Me and my friend Sean Kay and Randy Majerison, right? So we called it hawking
Yeah.
at the time. So I went in. And
It's nice that you gave out their full names so the cops can know where to go.
statute of limitations.
Yes.
So I went in, I stole my thing. Then Randy Majerison did. He stole his thing, right? I stole a candy bar, a coffee crisp.
Yeah.
And anyways,
It's a great detail.
Wouldn't you know it, Sean Kay doesn't steal anything. He cowards out. So we beat him up, and then the lady from the shoe store catches us. And then anyways, Sean Kay goes, he's a big blabbermouth. He goes and tells his parents. And I get home, and my dad and mom call me in there. My dad's real mad, you know, and my dad was a serious guy, you know. And I was scared, right? And he's like, I knew I was going to get a beating. So I thought quickly, right? And I was like, no, I bought that coffee crisp, I said to my dad. I bought it, and I said, we can go back there right now and ask that lady, and she'll remember. That's how fast I thought. Yeah. So we went back, and I was just telling him, so we went back, and we asked the lady, and she didn't remember. But my, my dad believed me because I was so sure.
So confident.
So confident in myself.
Yep.
One of the proudest things I've ever done.
Great chocolate
I
bar,
know, it's
too.
really, the coffee crisp was
Coffee-
great.
No, that's it was that quick thinking you were able to. There's something about the adrenaline, right? My friends.
Or shoplifting?
Yeah, my friends in school in the 8th grade, that was the thing.
Don't
to go
shoplift,
to the mall
kids.
at lunch.
Yeah.
The Beacon Hill Mall.
The Beacon Hill
To
Mall,
the Zellers.
sure. Oh, yeah, yeah. Also, when you shoplift, it's fun if you're leaving the store and you spot the guy spotting you, and then right before you leave, you just toss it down. And you go, you laugh at the guy. Because they kind of trail you, you know.
There's nothing they can do at that time.
Nothing you do.
You've done a lot of stuff over the years, like adrenaline-wise, and you've done some
Yeah, he
stunts,
has.
and you've.
Oh, my God. Oh,
No, I don't mean.
Tom
I
Green
don't
was a
mean
crazy
like,
good skater. Did you know that?
Daniel thinks that's
Like
the
skateboarder?
lamest segue ever.
This isn't news. This isn't news. I genuinely want to know.
Yeah, I thought we were doing news. Yeah,
Well, we'll get to that.
we've
What I
talked
think-
about all my stuff before. You know.
Yeah, Tom has been
Yeah.
interviewed so
Yeah.
many times.
Yeah.
He was on the cover of the Rolling Stone
I remember that.
20
in
years ago.
2008.
That's insane.
Yeah.
So he's been asked every question. You think
Yeah,
you're going to
talk
come up
about
with a
it
new
all.
one?
I heard a story that I had never heard before.
Just got our
and
mile.
I thought it was
Another mile
hilarious.
here.
Is it the Slutmobile?
No, I love the Slumber. I watched that.
This is a
like
story
crazy.
no one knows?
I
I
like
don't know.
this.
I'd never heard it before, and
I
I've
like
seen
that we
every
can just
episode of the Tom Green
Have
Show.
a conversation here.
So this was about you and some buddies were sharing a hotel room, and it involved an adult video, and you editing. Do you remember the story?
Yeah.
Have you told that one a lot? Because I was dying laughing at it.
No.
So
Who are you, Brian Linehan? There you go. There's a coffee crisp. This is the Canadian inside joke special.
This will do very well in Ajax.
Yeah.
Where Tom is playing.
it's a funny
soon.
story.
Brian who?
Brian Linehan's
Who did he say?
did a lot of research. Canadian interviewer. Sort of like our Barbara
I'm no
Walters.
Brian Lanahan,
Yeah.
but
He was sort of like, the James Lipton guy.
oh,
We were
geez.
driving across the
Don't
country
know who James Lipton is either.
in a used Ford Econoline van that we borrowed off of a kid on the internet who said that it was his grandfather's van who'd recently passed away. Let us take the van to drive across the country. Had a little video monitor system in it. We drove from Ottawa. We were trying to drive from Ottawa to Vancouver, and
Long drive.
by the time we got
Sounds
to
like it.
Thunder
Jeez.
Bay, we were living in this
Port
van.
Huron?
Yeah.
That's a cool
Port
place.
Huron and Port
yeah.
Arthur.
I want to live in Thunder Bay.
Campus casing up in that area.
Yeah.
We would all sleep in the van, but then once we had in our budget, once a week we'd get a hotel and we'd shower and someone would sleep in it. So it was 3 guys sleeping in a van. We were basically on top of each other, all in our early 20s. And we started getting very giddy. We had a lot of adrenaline, excitement just because we were filming, but we also realized after a few days that we were also giddy because none of us had been jacking off, basically, because we'd been sleeping in this van together.
Oh, no.
And
Where-
that was
no,
like
where's
the
the
first
story
time any
going?
of us, I think, had gone 3 days without jacking off.
That's
right?
impressive.
So we get to this hotel. The
Come
guys
on,
say they're
guys.
going to go get
Gotta
some
pick it
dinner
up.
in town. I say, you guys go ahead and get dinner. I'm going to stay in the hotel. I rented the porn.
No pun
in the
intended there.
hotel. This was before internet and all that, right? Was there, so you couldn't watch porn on the internet. Rented the porn on the TV internet, set the camera up, filmed the porn on the TV on our little videotape, on our little Hi8 videotape. And then when my friends came back from dinner, I had a little note that said, guys, if you ever need to, work off some of the, we called it whacker's giddiness. We were suffering from whacker's giddiness. If you ever need to work off some of the whacker's giddiness, take the video monitor, drive out and do a wheat field somewhere and put the tape in and do your thing, right? So the next day, sure enough, the morning comes, the van's gone. My friend's gone in the van. And he comes back like maybe half an hour later, and he's got a sort of angry look on his face, but he's laughing because he had taken the van out and put the tape in and started to do his thing. But what I hadn't told him was like a minute into the tape, I lean into the camera and I'm like, giving a thumbs up. Right around the time he would have been blowing his wad.
Oh, jeez.
Right? So we had a good laugh.
Oh, jeez. We're going to pause it there. Just like looking at time, and yeah, we're halfway through, guys. We'll finish the rest tomorrow. Oh my gosh, that's hilarious. Get disciplined, y'all. Come on. There's great strength in being able to hold that energy. Use it with your wife. It's nice. This is a weird video. And shoot, my kids are going to watch this one day. That's horrible. I didn't say nothing. Oh man, that's so great. What a great podcast. Excited for part 2. Thank you all for watching that with me. Hit like and subscribe, all of that crap. It helps a lot. On to the next one. Peace out.